Good morning, everybody. Come on in and grab your seats. Nobody's paying any attention. Hello there. Good morning, good morning. Welcome to Golden Gate Center for Spiritual Living, and welcome to those of you who are with us online this morning as well. I'm Reverend Mary Marie Shelton. This is Golden Gate Center for Spiritual Living, and I'm the community spiritual leader here. Thank you all for being here this morning. We're having a wonderful time chatting this morning, which is great actually, because this is how we start. And the way that we start is by making sure that everybody is welcomed and gets introduced. So please get up, move around, say hello, introduce yourselves to people you don't know, welcome one another, welcome people back that you haven't seen in a while, welcome those who are coming in the door right now. And those of you at home, take a moment and give yourself a hug. Get another cup of coffee, and get ready for a lovely morning. We're going to be back to sing in just a moment.
There'll be time for me to announce this. I'm taking a class on the internet and Zoom, and that's the address that I want them to know of, so they can get in line to take the class also with me, if they want.
What is this class for?
It's on the YouTube.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Do you want this? Or?
Yeah. Let me have this. Thank you.
Just don't all the other verbiage down here. Not to worry about. Just the thinkmasterclass.com.
Uh-huh. Okay, come on back and find your seats. We have Gary Lynn Floyd this morning as our music, and Gary is the artist in residence at the Center for Spiritual Living in Reno, and he's one of our favorites. He's been here to do concerts for us a few times. And so if you want to know more about him, go to GaryLynnFloyd.com for his music and everything else about him. But he's doing a very simple chant with us this morning that's really soothing. It's kind of been floating around my head. So please stand, and we will let him lead us into it. It's really easy. This is Gary.
Good morning, Golden Gate Center for Spiritual Living. Gary Lynn Floyd here with you again this morning. I think I did this song when we did the song circle a while back. It's called My Boat Floats Lightly. I invite you to embody it this morning. Stand if you want to, move around, sit, snap, move your body a little bit, raise your voice for sure. It goes like this. My boat of life floats slightly. My boat of life floats slightly. My boat of life floats slightly on tides of peace, on tides of peace, on tides of peace. My boat floats slightly.
That's the whole
That's all
thing.
there is to it. Now sing it with me. My boat floats slightly. Here we go. My boat of life floats slightly. My boat of life floats slightly. Yeah, sing it. My boat of life floats slightly on tides of peace, on tides of peace, on tides of peace. My boat floats slightly on tides of peace, on tides of peace, on tides of peace. My boat floats slightly. All right, let's go back to the top. Sing it all with me one more time. My boat of life floats slightly. My boat of life floats slightly. Sing it again. My boat of life floats slightly on tides of peace, on tides of peace, on tides of peace. My boat floats slightly on tides of peace, on tides of peace, on tides of peace. My boat floats slightly. We're gonna stay right there. My boat floats slightly. My boat floats slightly. My boat floats slightly. Yeah, feel it. My boat floats slightly. Claim it. My boat floats slightly. No matter the storm, my boat floats slightly. Keep it going. My boat floats slightly. My boat floats slightly. Sing it again. My boat floats slightly on tides of peace, on tides of peace, on tides of peace. My boat floats slightly. My boat floats slightly. Yeah. My boat floats slightly. My boat floats slightly. Beautiful. That feels good.
My boat floats lightly. It sounds a little bit like he's saying my boat floats slightly. And it reminds me of, I shouldn't probably say this right before we go into prayer, but Frank, would you pray us in this morning? So while he's on his way up here, when my son was in high school, one of the tasks they had to do for an engineering class was, along with a partner, they had to build a boat that was made of paper and wood. They had to try and construct it in such a way that they could sit in it and it would float. And so Luke and his best friend Mavi made theirs in our garage, and I knew it wasn't going to float, but they were having a lot of fun putting it together and thinking about what they wanted to do with it. So the day happened, we go out to the pool at the school. We go out to the pool, they put these in the water, and they both climb. Everybody gets into theirs at the same time, and then they're supposed to take off and see who can get the furthest across the pool. They get in, and they immediately start to sink, and the two of them are laughing hysterically. It was a total failure and a complete success all at the same time. So now that we have sung together and we've greeted one another, we're going to take our laughter and our energy and bring them within in this morning prayer from Frank Lang. Oh, there you go.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
There you go.
All right. Please join me in affirmative prayer. Let's see what wants to come through into the room. I begin this prayer, as I always do, by speaking the truth, and the truth is only God. Only God, and all of this is it. Who we are, what we are, where we are, even when all of it is Spirit unfolding. And we are the expressions of Spirit, the individualized expressions of Spirit, never apart, always connected, always guided, always spoken to, always loved into being. That is exactly what is happening right here and right now. This manifestation, this grouping of people, these words and the broadcast of these words, all of it is God speaking to each and every one of us at the heart level, at the body level, where we live, where we have our being. It's full, it's easy, it's glorious, it's radiant. It is life itself, who we are, living as us always. So we may take heart that we are loved into being. We may take heart that we are fully connected with each other and with Spirit. And that Spirit is always and everywhere. Never apart from us, never has been, never will be. Our lives are blessed, truly blessed. And we, spiritual beings that we are, know and accept that blessing, allow it, receive it, and give thanks for it. Because it is always happening, and we are called to Spirit, even now, as we have always been, and as we will be going forth from this gathering. And the love that we experience, the fullness that we experience, the radiance of this moment will shine through us and for us from here going forward, so that our paths are lightened, our burdens are eased, we are protected, we are graced. We are truly blessed. And so I say thank you to Spirit. Thank you for the answered prayer. Thank you for this moment of fullness, this moment of light, this moment of love, this moment that is life itself. Thank you. I recognize it, I accept it, I allow it to be, and I give thanks and let it go, and so it is.
And so it is. Thanks, Frank.
I made mistakes, it's true. The ignorance of youth. I dropped a bomb or two.
Yeah.
And drank a bitter brew. I've seen what I've been told, 'cause I've been bought and sold. But I'm worth more than gold. This time I break the mold. A flower never fails to make me breathe. A river's always seeking out the sea. A mountain climbs as high as it can be. And everything's always reflecting me. I cheated, lied, and stole, but nothing left me whole. Just a corrupted soul on a downward road. I lived unfaithfully, I wasted most of me. Now I'm surrendering to what I'm here to be. A flower never fails to make me breathe. A river's always seeking out the sea. A mountain climbs as high as it can be. And everything's always reflecting me. A soul session takes a lifetime to reveal. When I wake up to the obvious, I feel I grow lighter when I let it all go. I'm one with all I know. A flower never fails to make me breathe. A river's always seeking out the sea. A mountain climbs as high as it can be. And everything's always reflecting me. And everything's always reflecting me. And everything's always reflecting
Yeah. I want to make it clear, too, that our altar this morning is full of reflections. This is from the Frost family, so we have mirrors, and we have crystal balls, and we have angel cards that, anytime you're using anything like divination cards, you're really just asking for your own subjective. What does your subjective have to tell you, really? And so all of this is about reflecting and seeing ourselves in what's reflected back to us. Our theme for the month is On Wings of Love. So hopefully what we're sending out and what is being reflected back to us is love and beauty and truth and what we want to see in ourselves and in the world. But unfortunately, that's not always our experience. Some of the time, we are instead putting out what we don't want to receive. This fellow walked into a little corner store with a large handgun and demanded all of the cash in the cash drawer. And after the nervous cashier put the cash in the bag, this fellow saw a bottle of scotch on the shelf back behind the cashier, and he told the cashier to put that in the bag too. And the cashier said, "No, I'm sorry. I don't believe you're over 21, so it's illegal for me to give it to you." And the thief insisted he was over 21, of course, but the clerk still refused. So finally, the frustrated robber took out his driver's license and gave it to the guy. And the guy looked at it and said, "No, okay, well, you really are over 21. So he put the scotch in the bag, gave it to the robber, and the robber took off with his booty. And the clerk, of course, immediately called the police and told them the address and information that was on the license, and the robber was immediately arrested. Some people don't they're clueless about what they're actually creating with their action, with their activity. It's so much easier for us to see how somebody else creates their own misery than it is for us to see how we do it to ourselves. Would you agree? It's much easier to see. You look at your best friends, you look at your kids, and you think, you did it again. Not realizing, of course, that they're looking at us thinking the same thing. And this is what in Eastern traditions gets called the law of karma. What you put out comes back, or what goes around comes around, or garbage in, garbage out. All of those are ways of saying that the energy that we radiate into the world is what's going to be reflected back to us. It can only reflect back to us what we are and what we're putting out. So I think, at this time in the world, one of the things that we're doing an awful lot of is criticizing and complaining and getting scared and getting mad. And so it naturally produces more for us to get scared and get mad and complain about and criticize. And you can see it reflected everywhere. The more it's done, the more it gets done. So that pretty soon the only noise around us, the only thing that we hear coming back at us from social media, the only conversations we're having with each other, drift into that area where our frustration with the world or the United States or whatever's going on gets reflected in our conversations. And I think that we're unconsciously doing what everybody does, which is we're putting out the problems that we see. We're emphasizing them. We're talking about them. We're focusing on them. We're getting militant about them. And all we're really doing is creating more of that. Now, it would be very interesting if what we could do was respond to what we're seeing and hearing with appropriate action without turning it into an emotional bloodbath, but staying inside, neutral, and envisioning the best while we take action to move toward the best. Byron Katie said once, if I were a serial killer, I would want somebody to stop me. On some level, I would want somebody to stop me. And whatever they had to do then to stop me and prevent me from hurting myself more by killing more people, whatever they had to do, if they had to put me in prison for the rest of my life, if they had to execute me, if they had to shoot me on the street, whatever they had to do to stop my soul from further injuring itself and others, that would be a loving action. But that same action is not necessarily also being taken from a loving perspective with that larger view. Do you see? We're often responding in a punitive, vengeful, angry, getting even kind of way. We wouldn't want to say that about ourselves, but that's what we're doing when we enter into those conversations. We are internally mad and reactive and self-righteous and annoyed. Is it only me I'm talking about, or are other people doing this and finding themselves doing this, right? And when we're doing that, we may individually think, this is really not the direction I want to go, or not the direction I should be going, and yet our mouths are still going, yeah? At least I find this with myself. And it's humbling and frustrating because it isn't who I want to be, and yet I'm continuing to create myself by doing that. I'm continuing to create myself as somebody I don't actually want to be. Somebody who does that. So there are people who don't know about the law of cause and effect, that what we put out returns to us. They don't know about karma in Eastern religions, if you want to call it that. F. Paul Wilson wrote, "Your believing or not believing in karma has no effect on its existence, nor on its consequences to you. Just as a refusal to believe in the ocean would not prevent you from drowning." It isn't that when we take our belief away from something, it vanishes, but it can mean in some instances that its effects disappear from our awareness. We don't have an awareness that we're being affected by something that we have decided we're not going to believe in. So we could believe we're being responsible when we engage in all of that we're being realistic, that we're taking proper steps. But we could do all those things without the emotional baggage coming along with it. Those things are separate pieces. We're just used to linking them together and experiencing them together. Somebody, I don't know who it was, said karma is like a rubber band. You can only stretch it so far before it comes back and smacks you in the face. So we may be putting out what we don't want to receive, and then getting frustrated and angry and upset because there's more of it showing up. The question we need to ask ourselves, I think, as religious scientists is, do we actually believe that our word is powerful? And when I say believe, I don't mean do we have the idea, because I think we've all heard it enough. We have, oh yeah, we know that. We have that idea. But I'm talking about, do we really believe that our word is powerful? And when I use the word capitalized, our word, I'm not just talking about what we say. I'm also talking about the emotional energy of the action we take and of the things we think, as well as what we speak. All of those are our word, and all of them go into creation. They have a resonance to them. They have a life to them. So it isn't just the moment that we think it or speak it that has a creative energy to it. It's the accumulation of those reverberating out into the universe, making it easier for us to do it again, making it easier for other people to do it again too. Paramahansa Yogananda, the author of Autobiography of a Yogi, said, before you act, you have freedom. But after you act, the effect of that action will follow you whether you want it or not. This is the law of karma. So what is our word? Our words, our thoughts, our behavior, it creates a pattern. So the more we do it, the more entrenched the pattern becomes, and the more it resonates. It resonates in a pattern of repetition. And that pattern of repetition, as it repeats in our experience, it creates a life template of a sort. So that repetition that we're doing is creating a pattern. It's creating a pattern in our own life. It's creating a pattern in the world. Now, ours may join with other similar patterns in the world so that that particular energy, that particular resonance gets louder. It gets stronger. What we resist persists, and when we resist it vociferously, in word, in thought, in action, the more time we spend on it, the more emotional we get, the more of it we produce. And so we get more and more of that in our experience. And its repetition then begins to just drive us crazy. Now, the truth is, if we know and believe and understand that, then we have a choice. We have a choice to persist in that, or we have a choice to begin to put into our consciousness the opposite. Put into our words the opposite. Put into our actions the opposite. And when I say the opposite, I don't mean then, okay, well, I'm going to change my mind so that it means that all of that stuff I've been upset about is now okay. That's not what I mean. What I want to shift then is the energy with which I'm doing what I'm doing, the way in which I'm choosing my words or my thoughts. I have choices about that stuff. Now, it's true that the emotional energy of what I've been doing carries a forward momentum to it because I've been engaging in it, right? It's got a forward momentum. So I can't introduce a different energy once and assume it's going to change it just like that. That would be not very realistic. The universe wants to know I mean it. And so I need to then practice. I need to persist. I need to choose what I really want the world to look like. Now, maybe, just maybe, I'm enjoying having these conversations so much that some part of me really doesn't want to change any of it. Some part of me is really enjoying being right and joining with other people where we get to be right together about how wrong something else is. Does this ring a bell at all? Yeah. It feels, we join together, belonging, connecting. That feels kind of good. But in the long run, the bigger impact of it is taking me down a very destructive path, not a path I ultimately want. When we say we want to create a world that works for everyone, that isn't accomplishing it, for sure. It's doing the opposite. So if I want to dismantle it, then I need to begin to adjust my thought, to bite my tongue and choose my words differently, to word maybe the letters I'm writing, the texts I'm sending, the ways in which I'm speaking out, to do it in a particular way, where I'm choosing in that very action that objects to something, I'm choosing the way in which I'm doing that from a more loving, neutral place. If I'm trying to stop a serial killer, I want to be able to, and this sounds nuts, but I want to be able to do it from a place of love for what I want to see happen for that individual, for the world, and take that action, that specific action that I need to take, however fierce it may be, but take it from an inner place of my boat floats lightly on tides of peace, even when I need to interact in this way. That means separating out that emotional illness from the action itself that I'm taking, the word, the thought, the action. So when I do that, I am recognizing, claiming, knowing that my word has power, and that because my word has power, it is important for me to take responsibility for my word. It is important for me to look at it critically, to look at it and be willing to say, no, that doesn't pass. That's not really okay. Or even in my conversation to say, you know what, I want to come at that a little bit differently because I want to make an adjustment here. So let me take that back and say it like this. And that might make me feel like I'm making excuses for what I see as bad out there. And yet that might be part of the territory I need to traverse to get to a larger view of what it is I want to have happen. Is this making sense? What I'm saying to you? Yeah? So even if I'm not aware that my words have power, even if I don't really completely believe that my words have power, it's still my responsibility to pay attention to them, to at least offer the possibility, because just like karma, even if I don't really believe that I'm powerful in that way, just in case I am, I can make a new choice. We, of all people, should be believing and knowing that our word is powerful and doing something about that as if we really believed it. So, in recognizing that the patterns that we put out have a resonance, what that means is they don't stop at the moment that we say what we say. They continue to carry on a particular type of resonant energy. So whoever heard me carries that energy with them, unless they do something to neutralize it. They may think about it, they may agree with me, they may repeat what I've said to somebody else. Do you see? The resonance goes on, the beat goes on and on and on, unless I intervene in that particular resonance that belongs to me, because I'm the only one that can actually change that particular piece of resonance. Its home is here. So until I shift the resonance from here, what's flowing onward is not corrected. The only way, then, for me to experience more good in my life and experience more good in the world is to change me. I have to become that greater good, that greater image, that greater peacefulness. Right now, I would say some of the time, my boat of life is a lot like the one Luke and Mavi made. It's not floating lightly on tides of peace. It's sinking under the weight of condemnation. Not so much that I'm condemning myself, although sometimes I am, but mostly whatever I'm condemning out in the world. Everything I point at and say, that's wrong and that's bad and this should be that way. Every time I'm doing that, I'm adding another brick to the weight that I'm carrying myself because it belongs to me. It's like a boomerang, karma. You throw it out, it comes back and hits you in the head. So what I want to do instead then is to recognize I can be more than that. And not only that, but I'm called to be more than that. I don't think I'm going to start doing that perfectly right away. I probably will be clumsy at it. I probably will embarrass myself at it. But every small effort I make is an increment of change that I'm claiming in my own consciousness. And we know that we are one mind, that we are the presence of God expressing. However, when we are expressing from a place that is out of harmony with the divine itself, it just creates a mess. It doesn't create good. We think somehow, I don't know where human beings got this idea, that the more we are annoyed about something and critical of it, that's going to make it better. When somebody criticizes you to your face, does that immediately feel good and life-affirming? No. Not so much, does it? Now, you might reflect on that Even if you feel angry and hurt and resentful, you might reflect on that and ultimately go, I hate it and he's right. I need to change. So it might do good eventually, and perhaps some of that good would come from somebody giving us feedback that we really need to hear and doing it from a loving place, even though they're calling us out. Perhaps the lack of additional energy of condemnation coming at us is what allows us to actually really look at it finally and go, I think she or he is right about that. That's embarrassing that I got caught. I need to be more aware of that. Florence Scovel Shinn, who wrote The Game of Life and How to Play It, she said, the game of life is a game of boomerangs. Our thoughts, deeds, and words return to us sooner or later with astounding accuracy. Now, some of those words that I've put out, I don't know about you, I don't want them back. So Wayne Dyer said, and this is great advice. He says, extend some kind of unexpected generosity to someone, preferably a stranger, every single day for 2 weeks. The more you practice being generous, the more you'll impact others in an inspiring way. And not only that, the resonance you create, this is me, not Wayne Dyer now, the resonance you create by doing that has an effect on you and has an effect on more than that stranger that you did something generous to or for. Help somebody carry something to their car, pick something up that they dropped, offer somebody a compliment as you go through a line. It doesn't have to be a lot. Just something small every single day for 2 weeks. Do you think we could remember that? Every single day for 2 weeks. Part of me goes, I don't know, I have to write a note somewhere, that I see. What have you done generously for someone else today? Stick it on the mirror so that every time you go to the bathroom, you go, oh yeah, I still need to do that. Maybe it's sending an email to somebody. Maybe it's liking something somebody said on social media that was inspiring or uplifting or kind, somebody you don't even know. Maybe it was sharing something that they put up. Anything you can do like that, any little thing, begins to incrementally assist us to loosen up and lighten up a little bit. Ernest Holmes, our founder, said in The Science of Mind, if we believe we are suffering, we shall suffer. Life responds to us in the way we approach it. And really, what else could it do? That's my comment, not his. We should choose that which we wish to embody. And by constant attention to it, take on all its characteristics. Let us choose to be identified with power, with love and beauty, with peace and happiness. Let us identify ourselves with abundance and success. The objective form to which we give our attention is created from the very attention we give to it. What we put out, we are creating and receiving. So we want to change the pattern, the resonance that we're creating. Now, when we start to radiate the good we want to see, the good we want to feel, the good we want to be, when we start radiating that, the Bhagavad Gita, which is a Hindu writing, says the meaning of karma is in the intention. The intention behind the action is what matters, the intention. Now, somebody else said the road to heaven is paved with good intentions, but good intentions in that context is just kind of a Band-Aid on something. It isn't really a clear intention. It isn't like you say, well, you may have intended to do it, but you never did. Or you may have intended for me to understand this, but what I understood was that. Okay, then carry your intention forward a little more. Say, okay, sorry about that misunderstanding. This is what I meant. Is that clearer? And work on the intention coming through clearly. Not just a one-off, but really meaning for it to make a positive difference to the other person, to ourselves, to the world. That is what makes a big difference. It needs to be a priority of ours, just as much a priority as we think it's important to vote, to speak up, to take action, to sign petitions, whatever we do. All of that stuff can be very good stuff. What is the intention behind doing that? Is the intention for positive change, or is it to punish somebody, or to get somebody, or to win? If we're really religious scientists, if we really recognize that our word is powerful, then the intention is the real prayer. And that intention, think about, now this intention I'm doing this with, do I want that to come back and smack me? Is that really what I want to have show up in my life? Maybe not. This is a wonderful story. You know, when we take an action to shift ourselves, it may show up in huge ways that affect other people for years. We may not know how much or how important that one action turns out to be. In August of 1982, on August 8th, at Fenway Park, something happened. It was never meant to be, I'll read this to you, this story. It was never meant to be a moment etched in baseball history. No one walked into Fenway Park on August 8th, 1982, expecting to witness anything more than the usual rhythm of summer baseball. Hot dogs in hand, scorecards scrawled with pencil, and the comforting murmur of the crowd blending with sounds of the game. But that day, the game itself became a footnote. The crack of the bat broke through the afternoon air, a sharp, clean sound that sent a foul ball screaming toward the stands. In the split second that followed, time seemed to slow for everyone, except for one man. A 4-year-old boy there to enjoy the game with his family didn't have time to react. The ball struck him in the head. Gasps rippled through the stadium, and in a heartbeat, joy turned to dread. Spectators rose in confusion, and panic began to mount. The boy collapsed. His family froze. Security hesitated. Medical help was somewhere in the maze of Fenway. And then Jim Rice moved. From the dugout, the Red Sox slugger had seen the whole thing. And in that moment, he didn't think about the game or the cameras or the risk. He didn't call for help. He didn't point fingers. He ran. He sprinted into the stands, lifting the unconscious child into his arms like he'd known him his whole life. He didn't cradle him with caution. He held him with purpose, with urgency, with the unmistakable determination of someone who had already decided this boy was going to live. No security checkpoint, no crowd control, just one man weaving through the chaos with a bleeding child in his arms and his heart in his throat. Rice laid the boy on the dugout floor, where team doctors were waiting. EMTs arrived, and eventually the boy was taken to the hospital. He survived, not because it was a miracle, because Jim Rice made it happen. Doctors later said that if Rice hadn't acted so quickly, that boy might not have made it through the night. It wasn't just the gesture, it was the seconds that he saved, seconds that mattered. And still, the story didn't end there. Rice visited the hospital later, quietly, away from the headlines. That's when he learned the family didn't have much, no wealth, no cushion for hospital bills. And again, Rice did something that never showed up in any stat sheet. He walked to the hospital's business office and made sure the medical costs were redirected to him. No press release, no spotlight, just grace. He returned to the game that same day wearing a blood-stained uniform. No theatrics, no posturing, just a man who had done something heroic and saw no reason to tell anyone about it. This wasn't a baseball moment. This wasn't a highlight reel or a tale to inflate a career. It was human, raw, real. And maybe that's what makes it unforgettable. Because in the midst of a game designed to celebrate strength, speed, and stats, Jim Rice reminded the world that true greatness isn't measured in home runs or batting averages. It's measured in instinct, in compassion, in the willingness to run into the stands, not for glory, but for life. That moment, more than any MVP award or all-star appearance, became the truest mark of Jim Rice's legacy, a legacy written not just in the record books, but in the life he saved. And not just in the life he saved, but in every one of us who has ever heard or read this story, everyone who was there or saw this when it happened. The resonance, the beat, goes on and on. And the purpose of it isn't to aggrandize Jim Rice, but to inspire us to look at our intention and to take action from that place that affirms life, that affirms wholeness, that affirms God, that affirms that our word has power. So, if you, like me, have actually been putting out what you don't want to receive, let's make a change. Let's make a small change. Let's do something generous for somebody else every day for 2 weeks and see what happens to us. What could it hurt? Namaste. Thank you. Thank you. So let's take a moment and anchor that now within. Right here and right now in this space, there is nothing but God. That's all there is. Everything else is an expression. It is passing show. But the truth is, everything and everyone in this place is that divine presence manifesting itself as us, as all that is. That great wholeness binds us together with each other, with the earth herself, with all that is, with everyone, everywhere, without exception. We are one with the 9/11 bombers. We are one with the January onslaught on the Capitol. We are one with liberals and conservatives. We are one with Ukraine and Gaza and Palestine and Israel and Russia. We are one with Sudan. We are one. Wherever there is conflict, we are part of that. Wherever there is generosity toward children that are hungry or people who need health care, wherever there is life, we are one with that activity. So right now we recognize and know that the resonance we are putting out is affecting all of that and every one of them and every one of us. And so in this moment, we bring to our hearts' attention those who are dearest to us. We breathe into our love for them. We allow it to grow within us, to become brighter and stronger until it bursts forth from us in love for all that is everywhere, regardless of this moment's appearance or behaviors. We send that love out into the world without exception, to everyone in every place. We send it to lift hearts and minds, to inspire, to bring forth questions about negativity, and to lift up a desire to connect with one another in wholeness and in love, and find that way forward that empowers our lives, all of us, in a world that works for everyone. We claim the changes in us that are needed and necessary. We claim them and give them permission now to take root in us, to flower and bring forth fruit, and particularly to live in our memories to remind us of who we are and who we choose to be, now and throughout the rest of this day and this week and this month. We send this prayer with confidence in the power of our word into the creative love, mind, and spirit, which has no choice but to respond according to the words spoken, taking this power into action and doing its work in transformation within us now. Right now. We let go of our rightness and our prejudices and our ignorance of the full picture. We let go of that. We open to the divine vision, wholeness and beauty, peace, creativity and joy, collaboration and love. And we claim that as our truth right now. So we let it go into the law now to do its work, and we just let it be so. And together we say, and so it is. Please stand and join me in the morning affirmation. As we say together now, I know the law of cause and effect. I intend to plant seeds of kindness and love every day through my actions. I truly cultivate what I want to see in the world, and so it is. You may be seated. Ushers, would you please come forward? This is a time of our sacred offering, and so if you happen to be online with us today and you'd like to donate to Golden Gate, we would be honored to receive your gift. And one way you can do that is by texting the dollar amount you want to give to us to the number on the screen. And as you're doing that, we are all going to also bless the offering, not only what you're giving, but what's being given right here in the room this morning, what has been given to Golden Gate throughout this past week in prayer, in volunteer action, and in financial gifts. We welcome all of those, and we welcome them in abundance. And so I invite you now, whether you're here or online with us, to hold your gift over your heart, or just put your hands over your heart, because you also are the gift, as we bless all these gifts by saying this in unison. This gift I give is God in action. I now send it forth to bless and to prosper. I know that everywhere it goes, it is creating a world living in love, one heart and one thought at a time. And so it is.
Walk a mile or a minute in another man's shoes. He's got a path to take to find his truth. Any way you spin it, he's a lot like you. Finding his faith on roads that you never choose. Keep on walking. Keep on walking. Don't let it cloud your vision. Love be your only mission always. Let go of the old condition. Love be your only mission always. Keep on walking. Keep on walking. Tell a tale, you're in it. hear a brother man's blues. You got a destination now and no excuse. Why do you condemn it when it's not your own? You can't unsee it once the light has shone. Keep on walking. Keep on walking. Don't let it cloud your vision. Love be your only mission always. Let go of the old condition. Love be your only mission always. Keep on walking. Keep on walking. This is your part. It's a little chant. It goes like this. One foot in front of the other, hand in hand, one with another. Walk with your sister and brother, always. Sing it with me. One foot in front of the other, hand in hand, one with another. Walk with your sister and brother, always. We'll come back to that at the end. Don't let it cloud your vision. Love be your only mission always. Let go of the old condition. Let love be your only mission always. Keep on walking. Keep on walking. Now let's chant it out again. One foot in front of the other. Here we go. One foot in front of the other, hand in hand, one with another. Walk with your sister and brother, always. Sing it again. One foot in front of the other, hand in hand, one with another. Walk with your sister and brother, always. Keep on walking. Keep on walking.
Thank you, Gary. So all of us together, on behalf of Golden Gate Center for Spiritual Living, accept this offering and send it out into the world for more love. Not the sticky, sentimental thing, but love. And so it is. All right. If you happen to be with us for the first time this morning, please check out our welcome table back here where Galen is standing. We have all kinds of handouts for you back there. Feel free to pick them up and make sure you get a welcome packet. If you fill out the blue card and give it back to her, we promise to give you a copy of Nourishing Thoughts the next time you come. I don't know what happened to them. I put 2 packets of 10 books each into the Sunday box that comes every week. While I was in the office this week, it got here this morning, and we can't find them. Apparently, the universe needed them more than we did today. We'll see if I can figure out what happened to them. But in the meantime, please come back. If this is your first Sunday here, we promise to give you one next time. But do stop, say hi to Galen, pick up a welcome packet, and give her that blue card after you've filled it out. Also, I want to thank everyone that helped make this morning happen for us here. I want to thank Frank as our morning practitioner. He isn't a question mark anymore. And I want to thank the Frost family for this wonderful altar of reflections. Make sure to come up and look for yourself and take an angel card. They can take an angel card, right? Yes, yes. They can take an angel card, so feel free to do that. Next Sunday, I will be in Bellingham celebrating my little grandson's first birthday. His birthday is actually the 27th, but I'm going to be up there. The party's on Sunday because that's when everybody's off. So I'll be up there, but we're having a wonderful guest speaker. Reverend Judith Fleener will be our MC, and our guest speaker will be Steve Behrman. You may have seen him or know him as Swami Beyondananda. You may have read his articles. He's the king of puns. That's Swami. But actually, next Sunday, we're not having Swami. We're having Steve Behrman. And Steve Behrman co-authored a book with Bruce Lipton called Spontaneous Evolution, our positive future and a way to get from there to here. And next week he's talking about, I can't remember the exact title, but it's using humor to inspire and uplift. So he'll be here next week to speak about that, and maybe we'll all find ways to lighten up and be a little funnier, having heard what he has to say in terms of inspiration on those lines. You won't want to miss him. He will be here next week, and then I'll be back right after that. Also, I said this last week, but I just want to remind you, our World Ministry of Prayer, which is run by Centers for Spiritual Living with practitioners from all over, that World Ministry of Prayer has shifted its phone number and its email. So if you want to request a prayer from the World Ministry of Prayer, you can email them at the number 1, prayer@csl.org. Or you can telephone them to actually get a prayer with a practitioner at 424-235-4326. So I want to let you know that. And also, in October, we're going to begin a book study on the book by Ernest Holmes, How to Use the Science of Mind. Now, if you have taken a class and you've been introduced to the textbook, this might scare you, but don't let it, because How to Use the Science of Mind is much easier to read than the textbook, and you will have guidance each week. So we're doing these book studies at people's homes. This was Pauline's idea, Pauline France. It's going to start in October, and she's our first host. But back here on the activity table is a place where if you want to host a circle of people, you can put your name on there to be a host facilitator. We'll provide outlines for you. And I want to encourage everybody who doesn't have a copy of How to Use the Science of Mind to get one right now. You can get one in paperback for $10.99 or as an ebook for $6.99 at the website. In that bottom blue border, at the bottom of that, it's, in case you can't see it, it's shop.csl.org/new-releases, and then look for How to Use the Science of Mind. You can order it and have it before October. So we encourage you to do that and to sign up to host and facilitate one of the groups. And also remember that we have practitioners on duty to pray with you. That's their service to you on Sunday. So Dana and Karen are available at the table this morning. And I want to invite the practitioners to surround the room as well. As I say the rest of this, also there at the table, there is a box. That's the prayer box. You can put a written request in there if you're too shy to sit with a practitioner, or you can request prayer right on our website under the Resources tab. Right now, the practitioners are going to join me in a chamber of prayer, which means that we're all praying for all of us to remember and practice generosity, kindness in this next 2 weeks. So just let the prayers flow over you, all right? And take them in as we begin. And so it is. Please stand and join us for the closing blessing and song. As we say together, I now walk so that whoever walks beside me dwells in the presence of God, and whoever places a hand in mine is lifted, and whoever thinks of me is illumined with God consciousness, for spirit and all people and I are one eternally. And so it is.
Thanks so much for having me again this morning. Let's do this one as a call and response. I'll sing a line, you sing a line as we go out into the world. Let's take this with us. We have come here to love one another. You sing. We have come here to love one another. We have come here to let our love show. Sing it. We have come here to let our love show. We are family, we're sisters and brothers. Sing me. We are family, we're sisters and brothers, and we carry this love everywhere that we go. Sing. We carry this love everywhere that we go. All together we sing. We carry this love. We carry this love. We carry this love. We carry this love everywhere that we go. All together now. We have come here to love one another. We have come here to let our love show. We are family, we're sisters and brothers, and we carry this love everywhere that we go. We carry this love. Beautiful. We carry this love. We carry this love. We carry this love everywhere that we go. We carry this love. Lift it up. We carry this love. We carry this love. We carry this love everywhere that we go. Last line. We carry this love everywhere that we go. One more time. We carry this love everywhere that we go. I love you. Have a lovely week.